Before Rui got in an accident because his car was sabotaged, then with his golden eye Rui revenge by revealing illegal activities of smuggling antiques abroad and making Feng finally imprisoned. After that, Rui met his former boss, talked about ancient relic that made him get the power of God. In the conversation discussing the jade that was destroyed because of being shot by robbers, Rui remembered his eyes exposed to the pieces of jade from the Qin dynasty. Then, Rui contacted the Fei officer, asking about the incident in the group whether he still kept the jade evidence, because Rui wanted to check it. It turned out that the evidence was still stored in the police office, but previously the jade had been examined by Uncle Gu and found nothing actually there was a pair of jade. Rui begged the Fei officer to be able to see the object. After that, Rui took Uncle Day to Ru Yun's shop. Unexpectedly, in front of his shop, there was a Hao boss and his assistant. Then, they sat together while drinking oolong tea. During the meeting, the boss discussed Uncle's famous achievements as legends in the world of history and antiques, including when restoring 3 national property, namely the headdress of phoenix birds from the Tang dynasty, Kayasa, Mongolian heritage, and 5 horses paintings that are currently stored in the museum. Boss Hao praised Uncle Die for having great students like Rui. Then Uncle D said goodbye because there seemed to be important matters between them. Rui told me that Uncle Die had a number of invitations to become a speaker at a historical seminar, but he refused because the restoration activity was quite time-consuming. Boss Hao explained his purpose of coming to be grateful for helping to beat Diaporium before, also gave prizes by inviting to go to the country of Ukraine and make consultants in his company, because there were more business opportunities as well as preparation for the Emporium Stone Precious event in Myanmar. But Rui refused because he felt he was not appropriate to be a consultant, even though the distribution of money was quite large. Boss Hao was not surprised because before going to Ukraine, Bingbing had predicted that Rui refused this. For a moment, Rui was confused. Why Bingbing didn't say if he was going to Ukraine then, when Boss Hao was going. He asked when you would go to Ukraine. The next day, Fei showed the jade mata brought from the police station without permission from Captain Ding. Rui checks using the eyes of the god to see every detail of looking for instructions about the strength he has. According to Fei, after being examined by Uncle Gu jade mata from ordinary green jade, which has no privileges, but for some reason the robbers really wanted to take risks. According to Rui, this object is indeed an ordinary jade from the Qin dynasty, but in the historical literacy of the empire, there are no instructions on the jade. Then Pang Pei and Huang Yu came and told me that tomorrow Rui would leave for Ukraine because there was Bingbing there. Fei looked annoyed because maybe he really liked Rui. Then Fei left with a feeling of jealousy. In the police office, Fei is being scolded by Captain Ding because the case has not been completed, has also been fired for violation by bringing evidence without licensing procedures. The next day, they flew to Ukraine. Huang Yu was surprised because the room given to Rui was more luxurious than the 2 of them. Huang Yu thinks the Qin family deliberately provides different room quality. So Pang Pei and Huang Yu decided to live in Rui's room. Then, Bingbing came to pick up Rui, making Huang Yu look annoyed, and also forbade Rui to leave. But finally, Rui continued to go with Bingbing to go to one of the galleries shopping for clothes. While eating at one of the restaurants, it turns out that Fei officers also went to Ukraine. He came with a very annoyed face, because he considered Rui to Ukraine. There were important things, but apparently relaxed in this place. Fei approached asking the perfume used, but Bingbing reasoned that from the smell of incense in his house. Because there will be a meeting later, Bingbing invites Fei to join, but she refused because he didn't like to drink hard. Then the waiter came to deliver 3 bottles of liquor Fei ordered for 90,000 rubles. Rui was surprised because Fei said he did not like liquor. because Fei is too expensive to ask the service to cancel the order and will return the drink itself. Fei was seen annoyed, saying that this had nothing to do with Rui, because it turned out that Fei had been fired from police officers for issuing evidence without permission. This was all done for Rui. Knowing this, Rui apologized because Rui's guilt asked him to become his personal bodyguard. Fei agreed that his smile finally returned and ordered 5 bottles of vodka, asking that the new boss paying for him. That day, both of them came to the meeting place, according to the invitation located in a luxurious place. Both of them walked to admire the place where there were expensive paintings on display. While looking at the paintings, the person who invited them, named Zhang, came and explained a little about the painting, while holding the shoulder made Bing Bing uncomfortable. Then Bing Bing introduced Rui was an antique legend, and when he was about to take him shaking hands, Zhang was indifferent while telling his expensive paintings, then asked the two to enter the meeting room. The event began with a drinking drink. Rui, who did not want to Bing Bing, became drunk, took the glass of Bing Bing to replace it. After drinking a few glasses, Rui returned home with a drunken condition made Huang Yu worried, and Pang Pei immediately took him to bed. In other places, Boss Hao asked if there was a sign that Rui had special eyes, and Bing Bing explained that yesterday, Rui replaced himself to drink until he was drunk. Here it was revealed that Boss Hao had a hidden plan. He was the possibility of Rui having special eye abilities. And if it was true, the Qin family had to take advantage of his abilities. Boss Hao thought the possibility of Hook Qianyu and Pang Pei also knew the ability of his eyes. The next day, Rui and Pang Pei will go to the museum after receiving an invitation from Zhang. Huang Yu looked annoyed because he was left by Rui and Pang Pei. Fei questioned why not join together. He reasoned because he did not want to join all things related to Bing Bing. Elsewhere, Rui had arrived and was welcomed by Yong Rui, very enthusiastic about wanting to see the collection in the museum. But apparently Rui had been cheated because this place was an arena of fencing sports. Rui can only watch Zhang and Yang's match, while Pang Pei goes to buy food. After finishing, Zhang asked Rui to try to play. Even though he had refused, finally Rui was willing to play against Zhang. In this match, there was something strange, because Rui was continuously cornered, because Zhang played very aggressively. In other places, Huang Yu and Mia were shopping for gifts for Miss Liu. When they entered one of their shops, were shocked because of robbery. Returning to Rui, who continued to be attacked aggressively, made him fall. Rui annoyed, questioning why so serious. Zrenia, this is just an exercise without the need to fight such a river. But according to Zhang, that this is like a competition, because Rui is a real opponent in the sense that may have Bing Bing as himself. While Rui is not feasible, even though it is only near him. Huang Yu and Fei were held hostage with the shop owner. Fei blamed Huang Yu for forcing him to go shopping. At a time, Fei analyzed the situation if the robber only had one pistol. So Huang Yu pretended to have stomachache, made one of the robbers panic, and became the right time for Fei to act. The robbers could finally be defeated, while the shop owner was anxious to see Fei keep holding his hand. Before leaving, Fei asked the shop owner to immediately call the police, returning to Rui, who looked upset because of this insult. Then Pang Pei came to give a drink to him. Rui, who felt hurt, waiting for Zhang to go home, to tell him for a repeat. Zhang had refused, but finally agreed, after being said to be like someone who was afraid of losing. After leaving the Roko, it turned out that the problem was not finished, because suddenly the robbers' gang friends were chasing the two of them. They continued to run without knowing the direction until finally cornered. Suddenly, a car stopped in front of them. Apparently, it was the assistant boss, Hao, spoke to them, if both of them were Qin's family guests, and then told to leave immediately by giving a bank check. But Fei did not accept it quickly to take it and returned the bribes to Bing Bing, who sat in the back bench. Elsewhere, Rui continues to resist playing quickly. Finally, Zhang was cornered until he fell. Rui explained that the match was not about winning or losing while going away. When they gathered, Fei felt something was odd because Bing Bing could come in the right location. The possibility of the Qin family had a relationship with the gangster. Rui was of the opinion that he had to thank Bing Bing for being helped. But Huang Yu said this incident was clearly the one who helped was Fei, until his hand was injured while Bing Bing relied on money. Pang Pei told me if he was invited by Zhang to the fencing arena to be humiliated because it was related to Bing Bing. Rui defended Bing Bing, who might not know if Zhang could be so evil. Hearing this, Huang Yu became annoyed because he always defended Bing Bing like fur from the same bird. Fei was tired of hearing this debate by going from that place. In other places, Boss Hao and Bing Bing talked about the fencing match, where Zhang was too naive in doing something. He felt Zhang was not polite to the guest of the Qin family, so Bing Bing asked to meet Zhang to discuss it. But Boss Hao prevented because it could damage the relationship with the family of Zhang. Like to withdraw one fur can make the whole body pain. At Hotel Huang Yu, read the invitation card for Rui, containing the Zhang family. On Saturday, he would hold a Chinese business association with a gambling party for charity. Rui agreed to attend because Bing Bing also came to the event. So on that day, for the sake of security, they all went to the party. Before entering, Rui, calling Fei to